Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 539 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined, as always, by our favorite Illini, Stephen Kyle Brucki, putting on for the Fighting Gunthers, and Ben Funky Askren. He's in the mix. He's got an AC/DC shirt. This is not a shirt I expected to see Ben Askren in, but there he is.
I'm not a huge AC/DC fan, but I am a huge Rudis fan. They just came out with an AC/DC line, so if you guys feel like rocking it, then rock it, right? You want me to get your shirt, Christian? I can get your shirt.
No.
I hooked you up, dog.
I don't want an AC/DC shirt. I have lots of shirts. I have drawers full of shirts.
What's your favorite AC/DC song? Surely you have to like at least one.
Oh, well, it's a Buffalo Gap classic, Back in Black.
Oh.
You know,
That's
that
what I'm wearing. Look, it literally says Back in Black.
Yeah, that was like the song for the football team. It was big times. Because, you know, they're the black and gold. As everyone knows, the Buffalo Gap Bison are black and gold. Pretty intimidating colors. Okay.
One of our a lot of our kids in one of the classes I coach, they've been on a AC/DC streak this summer. They've been jamming out. They've been playing a lot of AC/DC, and I was looking at them like, you guys like AC/DC? This is really strange.
Well, I feel like basically time stands still with high school music taste. Like there's the new stuff that they all do like, but then there's like they like Guns N' Roses and ADCC.
ADCC.
I was in a bunch of meetings talked about the grappling event. Now I'm all mixed up, but they all like that stuff. I remember one of my wrestlers, Zach. I was like, "You're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, this music is so cheesy in like 5 to 10 years." And he's like, "What? No way! I'll always love Guns N' Roses." I was like, "Okay." And then eventually he's like, "Oh my gosh, you were right. That music is so cheesy." Not that I don't, when it comes on in the, in a freaking arena before NCAAs, you just absolutely love it. But
how about Thunderstruck? I see Christian Piles being a big Thunderstruck guy.
Yeah, it's fine. That's pretty good. That's a good one. Great jock jam.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a huge oh my gosh. AC/DC. I'm about to mess it up every single time.
I know Brucki is a huge AC/DC guy. Brucki.
Go. Dirty Deeds.
Done Dirt Cheap.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like everyone, here's the thing about AC/DC. I bet everyone only knows like the same 6 songs and couldn't know Hell's Bells, Back in Black, Thunderstruck.
How about
Shook Me All Night Long?
You Shook Me All Night Long.
Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell. What's the one you said?
Dirty Deeds.
Dirty Deeds. And for those about to rock, is that them? Did they do that one? Or does that just sound
I'm pretty sure that's them.
All right, I think those 7 songs, I bet outside of those 7 songs, I bet no one knows any other ones. Can you name another one, Ben?
Did we say Highway to Hell?
Yep.
Shoot to Thrill.
I don't know Shoot to Thrill.
I don't know that one.
Yep, that's it. They have 7 songs. Everyone else, just Google. I know you're Googling them, and you're going to maybe put some in the chat, but you didn't know that song.
You lie.
It's a Long Way to the Top.
I don't know that one. Oh, If You Want to Rock and Roll. Okay,
yeah.
I do know that one.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
they have 7 songs. 7, maybe 8.
Jason Bryant finally got to see him in 2016. Jason Bryant seems like an AC/DC guy to me.
A lot of Rosie.
I don't know that one. Oh, yeah. Eric Guerrero. It's a long way to talk if you want to rock and roll. Coach Guerrero.
Eric Guerrero's an AC/DC guy?
He knows that song. I didn't know it. Okay. Well, that's fun.
Wait, let me ask you. Okay, I got another question then.
Go.
Okay. So you're talking about high school wrestling being cheesy with their song choices, right?
Just high schoolers in general, yeah.
High schoolers in general. So we'll say high school wrestling. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of show we are here. What are the top 5 high school wrestling bands? Like, if you are most likely to hear something in high school wrestling rooms around America, top 5. I mean, AC/DC is obviously in top 5, but who else is?
TP and Esco. No, I'm just joking.
No, definitely Metallica. Definitely Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
AC/DC. Yeah. Those are a big 3.
I was thinking the Rocky soundtrack would be a big one.
You know,
I know it's not specifically a band, but the soundtrack. You know, that was kind of a good jam right there.
Yeah, the Rocky soundtrack. That's on there. What do we got? I think those are the big three.
I love Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I don't think they're gonna make it.
No, I love Red Hot Chili Peppers as well. I think that's it. I think it's those three. Everything else is maybe they have a song, but as far as bands with a catalog of music, I think that's it. Okay. Well, that's your 90-minute rock block, courtesy of FRL.
I could have seen you being the shock jock, Christian. You do a good job.
Well, thank you. Thanks a lot. My dad was apparently a DJ in Deerfield, Virginia. Queen, yes. Okay, Queen is great. I actually really like. I think Queen's awesome.
Yeah, Queen's good.
Thank you, Facebook. Thanks, Facebook. You guys are great. Maybe Led Zeppelin. Maybe that's a great band. They're just a great band. I almost don't want to loop them in with the AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. They're just like so far and away better. Okay, that's enough of the rock block. Hey, someone hit me up and kind of gave a slightly counter youth wrestling thought to your approach about competition.
I'm excited to hear it.
I think it's interesting. So I don't want to mess up the words because they're better than I could do. But basically,
are you gonna name this person, or is he not comfortable being named?
I didn't ask him before, so I don't want to like just put the name out there.
Would it be someone like we know, or
yeah,
who's that?
Oh yeah,
okay.
We all know him and we all respect him.
Well, I feel like they should this person should just say the words. I'm open to other ideas.
Okay, so this Thursday I had a lot in common with AWA, and we wrestled almost every single weekend, and it worked really well. I always talked about them using them as live practices. I had so many great teaching moments at those competitions. Pressure is the killer, in my opinion, not the competition. Love hearing different philosophies. So I think the crux of it is that pressure is what makes competition something to be avoided, right?
Yeah. Of course.
So if you can eliminate that, Ben Askren, then
But if you incentivize winning, you can't eliminate it. It's literally totally opposite of the way you need to think in order to eliminate that.
You hear, I don't know, one thing you hear like Kale or Iowa or the Penn State guys talk a lot about, it's like
never talk about winning, I'll tell you that much.
They don't, right?
No.
They talk about scoring the next point. It's
literally impossible. Yes. And that's why a lot of these youth parents, they have such a huge emphasis on winning and losing, and then their kid even if they try talking them out of that 5 years later, they get really stuck on that philosophy. And the kid can't shake it. The kids, it's just so ingrained in them that they can't shake it because it's so about winning and losing. And, so I just put out this course last week. And one of the number one biggest question I've been doing Mental Mondays for roughly 5 years. I think it's been a little longer, actually. The number one biggest question, Christian, that's always asked is, my kid gets to the state finals, a big match, whatever, right? Some form of thing where there's a lot more pressure and they don't wrestle like they should. How do I fix this? Christian, this is the number one question asked 5-1 over literally anything else. Anything else. By multiples. And it's because the parents and coaches are emphasizing the wrong things, and it gets the kids thinking the wrong things. And when you think the wrong things, there's no way you can perform to the maximum potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if that's the case,
I'm ready for it. Push back.
Well, not push it. It's the pushback. I think we're agreed on the same things about the pressure, right? But if you can coach parents and get parents on board, and more than anything, get the kid on board, then why can't you just say, hey, this is fine?
I probably could, but I more or less just see it as an unnecessary. Like, could I possibly get these guys to compete and then still get them thinking right? I could, but I don't think from, say, age 5 to 8 or 9, it's going to provide me much of a benefit. So why even bother? Why bother with something when the risk-reward profile isn't that good? The risk is that they'll become obsessed about winning and losing, because parents, they can't help. Go to a youth wrestling tournament. They can't help themselves. You got to tell them to shut up 7 times before they stop yelling about their kid to win. You literally cannot help. They can't help it. So, saying, "Oh, I can help it," and then actually doing it in competition, those are two completely different things.
Yeah.
And so, yes, maybe you could do it, but what's the flipping point? You just don't need to. It's just completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I guess. And what I would imagine.
You know what? Hold on. I just had this really great tweet this morning. Someone sent me before the show. Can I bring it up? And this is just let me find it. Just give me. It's about this exact topic, and this is kind of it's not where you start. It's where you end. Oh damn it! I can't find it on Twitter. It's on my phone. I apologize. Okay, it says this is Billy Wagner. He is a really good pitcher, apparently.
Yeah,
I'm not a baseball fan.
He's from Virginia.
So, okay. Okay, so he said, as a senior in high school, Billy Wagner was 5'5", 135 pounds, and got zero attention from Division I schools. He played his college ball at Division III Ferrum College and went on to become a 7-time All-Star with 400 career saves. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. #development. And that's kind of like, that's what I think. I don't need to have them good by 9 years old. There's no point. So when I think risk-reward profile, what is the reward to having someone really good by age 9? And the answer is, well, I don't know. There is none. Right? If they're not good at age 9, and even if they've been in the practice room and they just haven't had competitive success, I can still have them good by 12 or 13 or 14 or 15 when it actually matters.
Right. That is when it matters for sure. But imagine what would be wrong with instilling a proper mindset around competition at a young age?
It just really, kids don't have the emotional maturity to do it. And frankly, a lot of their parents don't either. But emotional maturity, I mean, again, like my 7-year-old, she's here. I did a trip with her yesterday. I mean, I feel like she's relatively emotionally mature for a 7-year-old, and still she loses her mind about whatever. I mean, Christian, you got kids. You know that they lack the emotional maturity to be able to put their emotions aside and think logically about something. That's just what 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds do. I mean, and really, you could even argue until you're. I feel like the kids who get there early get there by maybe 11 or 12 is like if that kid's emotionally mature at that point in time, that's like a really early point in life for them to do that. But more likely it's probably like 13, 14, 15 is when they actually hit that emotional maturity level.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. And I wonder, if this coach would think, maybe he was referring more to the older guys as well. Because obviously you increase the competition as the kids get older, and so maybe it's a little different. But I understand.
So what was he saying? Just about because we couldn't have been competing with our little kids or their little kids because we don't really have any little kids that compete. So it had to be strictly older kids, I would say.
And he also referred to like if the kids didn't buy or if the parents weren't bought in with this philosophy, they were asked to leave.
With my club or his club?
His club.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not saying we've never, ever, ever asked a parent to leave, but we don't do that very often. Most of them, if you explain it to them in the right way, they get on board.
Got it. Okay. I saw Jason Bryan asked if I was allowed to own the parental advisory CDs as a child. No. So
really,
this is actually a funny story. One time, do you remember those? Man, this is a throwback. Those like things you could buy out of like a magazine. You buy like 2 CDs, get 99 free, or something like some weird CD deal where you could get a bunch of CDs for a good price, or I forget how it worked exactly.
Yeah, I remember there was. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Somehow I was able to. I don't know how I did this, but anyways, I ended up ordering some CDs, and I was able to get Rage Against the Machine's Evil Empire because I freaking loved them. But I couldn't get these things, and my mother found them, and I just came home one day with I'd hid it obviously because I didn't want her to find it, and I came home and it was on my desk like very prominently in a center in my room. And there was just a note that said, "Christian, we need to talk about this."
The devil got a hold of you, Christian.
Oh man. Yeah, so busted. No parental advisory CDs for me. That's okay.
It's too funny. Wow.
So yeah, that was life in, in Churchville.
Is that even all the way up to age 18, or is that like, when you say you got the 16, you were cool to listen?
No, I'm pretty sure this was like junior year.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. It was
Wow. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. What can I say? I had a more sheltered life than many. It's okay. No regrets. All right, other stuff is happening. No more rock blocks. We talked about youth wrestling. We added another Who's Number One match. I think the card is set. I think it's done. Skylar Hattendorf versus Kylie Welker, 2 cadet world medalists, squaring off at 145. And that, I believe, is our final match of Who's Number Ones.
Are you guys going to replace I know there was a withdrawal yesterday. You guys going to replace her?
No, I don't think so.
No, you're not?
No.
Okay.
I don't think.
Unfortunately. There's not many people that can give Kennedy Blades a match, is my understanding.
Yeah.
She's really good.
Yeah, Emmett Allure. She put it on Instagram a few weeks back that she didn't know if she was going to be able to compete, and it was just kind of official that she wasn't going to be ready to go in time.
Unfortunate, because that's probably one of the most anticipated women's matches that you could have, but yeah, Columbia House. Someone put it in there. That's what it was. The Columbia House CD situation. Facebook has all the answers.
They're good. They're on top of it.
Yeah, they're good. This is a plugged in crowd. Okay. So that's great. Excited for Who's Number One, October 3rd. Gonna be cool. I don't know if any of you guys like jiu-jitsu or not, but we're gonna have a Who's Number One in grappling the day before, October 2nd. And there is going to be a match. Same venue.
Hey, nice.
It's gonna be fun.
Watching both.
Yes, you will. So there's gonna be a match on there. It's not announced yet, but you're gonna like it if you like wrestling, and that's all.
A wrestling one?
It has a wrestling tie. That's all I'll say.
When are we announcing it?
Hopefully soon. I believe the match is signed.
Bo Nickel. Pat Downey.
No. Double no. All right. No, you'll just have to wait and see, but you're going to like it. It's going to be good.
Okay. When do we get to see? Like tomorrow, the next day, after that?
No, it's going to be probably longer than that.
Really?
They're going to make you wait, yeah.
Okay.
What are they waiting for if it's signed?
I don't know if the other one's signed. One of them, the one signed, one isn't, is my understanding.
Who's signed?
Nice try. I'll tell you.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you, Ben, after the show.
Okay.
You can.
You also got to tell me who was the first comment from. Also.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, good.
I just get weird about. I really don't think this person would have cared at all. But it's like I don't know. I don't want people to feel like anytime they text me, it's going to end up on FRL, and
Gotcha.
So
I usually try to ask, like even when Spencer was here, I was like, hey, we talked yesterday. I don't want to repeat any of that stuff unless you're okay with it. So I'm just confirming because I don't. Again, you're right. I don't want to feel like if we're just hanging out in person, then I'm just going to repeat anything that I hear.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Yeah, one guy's like, yeah, I'm actually scared of the dark. It's terrible. I'm crippled by Ben's like, Bo Nickel's scared of the dark.
You think Bo Nickel's scared of anything? I bet Bo Nickel's not scared of anything.
Probably not. There's little to fear.
Maybe snakes, sharks, something like that.
Perhaps, yeah. I think we should all have a healthy fear of snakes. All right.
I am scared of sharks, and my wife tries making fun of me, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're making fun of. Sharks can eat you, dum-dum. Like, you can make fun of me all you want, but I will not be eaten by a shark.
How does this fear manifest itself? Does that mean you won't go in the ocean?
Yeah, not past my knees.
What?
Dog, I ain't getting eaten by a shark. I don't even love the risk-reward profile. I don't love the ocean that much. I don't want to get eaten by a shark. It works.
Risk-reward profile. Do you know what the odds of you being eaten by a shark are, Ben?
Yeah, but you know how bad it is if you get eaten by a shark? It's real bad, Christian.
It's like the probability of you getting eaten by a shark, Ben.
Yeah, but I don't even like the ocean. So I don't get
You don't
any
like playing
rewards.
in the
I don't get
waves?
benefit. Yeah, I mean, like maybe, not really. I don't.
You don't like boogie boarding?
I'll go to a wave pool in the Wisconsin Dells if I want to play with a wave pool.
You don't like getting pitted? It's
I don't
so
know what
pitted.
that means even.
Oh, dude, yeah, you wouldn't, bro. You don't know anything about hanging 10.
Hang 10. Yeah,
Man, I
know
can't
that
believe
means.
that. Ben, that is unfortunate.
Well, I don't have a lot of fears in life, but I don't want to be eaten by a shark, and so I stay out of the water. It's real
Well, I
simple.
don't think you're
Did
alone.
Did you ever hear that lady that said, that's the shark's house? That was such a great video.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen this? Okay, I'll send it to you guys.
All right, yeah, I'd love to see that. Shark's House. I was, Ben, you may be interested to learn. I was obsessed with sharks as a youth. Like, obsessed.
Really?
I have, so many books. I was somehow allowed. Now, figure this one out. My parents, sheltered life. I was watching Jaws 3 at, age 8. Now, I was, probably.
What?
Make sense of that.
But they eat people in there.
Humans get eaten routinely, and you kind of see it, and then you see a floating arm. It's very, I don't understand this. Now, as I'm kind of rewinding my childhood, how did this make the cut? But Rage Against the Machine at age 17, no good.
Are there curse words in Jaws 3?
I don't think they're that bad. My parents were, they were more, it was the profanity more than the gore and violence that really bothered them. It's really
I don't mind profanity a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Opposite. But anyways, yeah, now I'm remembering. I watched Jaws 3. I was definitely under 10 years old, for sure. So figure that one out. But yeah, I absolutely love sharks. Obsessed with them.
Okay.
But yeah, don't want to get eaten by one. That's for darn sure.
What's your I guess some people would say my shark fear is illogical, but I've explained how it's perfectly logical.
It is illogical.
What would you it is not illogical.
It's not illogical. I don't like the ocean that much either. And anytime I was in it and I would step on something, I'd get the heck out of there.
That's so funny.
If my foot got tangled up in seaweed, I was gone.
Yeah, that's just what sharks feel
I was out.
That's where the sharks are hiding.
Well, I do know too much. See, the most dangerous shark in terms of risk to humans is probably the bull shark. And the bull shark, that's the one that
too much.
It kind of does like to get a little bit closer to the coastline.
The fear is logical.
I mean, it's logical in that, yes, it can happen. It is totally illogical in that the probabilities of it happening to you are very... Probably the most likely, and there's still a very obscure chance of happening, is that a shark would come up, bite your leg, be like, oh, that's not a tuna or whatever. That's not a fish. And then
you got no leg, Christian. And then you got
no
no
leg. Listen, punch its eye, and it's going to let go. It's not going to drag you out to sea underwater. You're not going to go out like Quint in Jaws 1. It's not going to be that bad. You're not going to get tugged under like the swimmer.
Dude, on Sunday, a freaking person was bitten in Orlando.
Bitten. Not eaten.
Orlando's in the middle of the state. How did the shark get to Orlando?
No, Orlando.
Oh, from Orlando. Sorry.
It's from Orlando.
From Orlando.
Listen, there are places where's
New Smyrna Beach.
Where's that?
Florida.
Yeah, and there's sharks. His injuries, perfect. This is a perfect example. His injuries were not life-threatening, and he was not transported to hospital. He didn't even go to the hospital.
What?
He didn't even go. This is my exhibit.
Oh, and then a woman got bit in the same place 2 days before that, too.
Do not go to New Smyrna Beach. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, just don't go to New Smyrna. Yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit of a hot pocket. Yeah, boogie boarding. If you boogie board, you almost look like a seal. That is a little more dangerous. But you know what? It's fine. Any Facebook listener bit by a shark say yeah. Oh my gosh. John Kozak, that's a funny one. All right, so back to sharks. Away from sharks, actually. So we discussed earlier, a couple weeks ago, Zaurbek Sidakov. He got married. Beautiful couple, beautiful wedding. JD Raider posted a video, looked like a great time. Little did we know, this wedding this marriage apparently lasted less than 24 hours. Because at the wedding, or maybe after the wedding, it was revealed to Zaurbek that his now wife lived a life he was unaware of previous to him, and was a little more promiscuous than he had hoped, and proceeded to get her kicked out of the marriage celebration as soon as he learned this information. And now they're done. Can you believe this, Ben? What?
Well, I can't say anything because you told me about 74 things I can't say, so I'm really
No,
nervous.
I did not.
What I can or can't say right now, I'm very limited with my words. I just don't want to, get you guys kicked off air.
Well, just go for it.
Well, listen, you guys can read the articles for yourself. It's Russian translation. I'm not making this up, but apparently she was an escort as a prior profession, and someone sent photos of her doing said work to all the guests at the wedding. That person really must not have liked Sidakov to wait that long, right?
Yeah,
it was supposedly
an ex.
They knew who sent them?
It was supposedly an ex of the lady.
He rolls up all mad, big mad.
He was big mad, as the kids say, and
so he got dumped or something.
Sent it to Sidakov and a bunch of people at the wedding, and things got out of hand, I think.
Here's the thing, and here's how this could have been avoided, at least by a few hours. I feel like in weddings these days, they don't ask like hey, does anyone, in the dramatic thing where
But Christian, this ex would not have been invited to this.
Yeah, it's like, hey, does anyone
he wouldn't have been there.
What? He wouldn't have been invited?
They clearly didn't invite him, did they?
Listen, you can bust in the doors as soon as the minister
You can bust in Sidakov's wedding?
Maybe.
You're not going to bust in Sidakov's wedding.
You can't crash that wedding? Come on. It'll be fine.
Dog, if you want to get beaten to death, maybe.
Listen, he's very far away. He can't run me down. You just bust in.
No, but what about all his friends in the audience?
You think they had armed guards for his wedding?
They don't need armed guards, Christian. That's an audience full of killers. They'll just take you with their hands and give you the beat down.
Well, he's still okay. What's a better scenario? To bust into the wedding where people are apparently supposed to be close to minding their P's and Q's, or you go to the reception where who knows their state at that point in time?
I don't think he went to the reception. He just sent text messages, correct?
Oh,
he was just sending text.
Oh, he was just blowing up phones?
Yeah.
I thought he rolled up.
Yeah.
No, he was sending the stuff to them.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Christian.
This is a cold-blooded killer.
You're going to get killed. Give me a break.
He didn't roll up. Okay. I thought he rolled up. Yeah, that does change things.
Are you going to show up and give, Sadulayev, and are you going to give him the bird? I mean, can you imagine what would happen to you?
Bad.
It would not be good. It would be really, really bad.
It would not be good. I'm willing to say it publicly. I could not beat up Zaurbek Sidakov. I just don't think I could do it. So I can imagine it being really, really bad. See, I don't know if she was. Our man John Kozak, he doesn't think she was an escort either. See, this is why I didn't want to say it, because I don't think.
Well, listen.
I think it was just something like.
Well, every other article called her an escort.
Yes.
Literally said the word escort.
Literally. We're not in charge of Russian scandalous magazines. What are those called again? The ones that have the junk in them?
Yeah, I don't know.
He also, Kozak says Sidakov and the missus only met in April.
Oh, see.
Which makes sense.
That's not good.
Oh, Mike. But that's not good.
That's just, I get love at first sight, but you got to give it a little bit of time. You barely know someone if you meet them in April.
Wait,
especially during quarantine.
Weren't they locked down on Corona?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what happened. I got it.
So the weirdest part of all this, it's one thing when it's like, all right, this back and forth. Then Frank Chamizo chimes in.
Chamizo gets involved.
Chamizo's involved. Chamizo's involved. You haven't seen this? Do you not follow Frank on Instagram?
Chamizo paid the Russian billionaire to put those photos out there to get Sidakov out of the way.
No. We need, how some radio shows have, the little soundboard with the drops? Like, when we say Chamizo, I should be able to, hit a button and be like,
who you are?
No, I love money, bro. That's the best line. I love money, bro. But now, all right, so Kyle's going to pull it up. I'm going to read it, but Chamizo chimes in on this situation. Using
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Hold on. I'll read the whole thing to you. I don't know if he's playing a little more... playing some psychological warfare here. But here, I'm going to read it right now. His response. So it's him. It's Zaurbek, basically at the end of a match, they're kind of hugging. And Frank Chamizo. In this photo, you can see the respect of this champion today. I want to show you my respects. I know you're going through a complicated situation with your wife where many people make comments in bad taste, but I give you a counsel from rival to rival. Women never lose the value. Respect for all women. We all have the right to change. I can't wait to find you to kick your ass.
Wow.
So it took quite a turn.
Chamizo.
I was like, oh, let me give you good advice. And then it's like, people change. I'm going to beat you. Pardon my French.
Wow.
Pardon my Italian. Cuban.
You really got a body mouth on you today, Piles.
I'm sorry. What else have I said?
Hell.
Your mom.
I did?
Your
Yeah.
mom's going to be so mad at you. Name of a song.
When did I say that?
You said highway to hell.
Oh, that's the place is okay. There's different instances where it's fine. You can say it in Sunday school.
Well, so is Chamizo then Chamizo's dropping in her DMs. I almost guarantee it.
He could have a.
He definitely did.
An ulterior motive for making that
Who
post.
Who knows?
There's no way he didn't do it afterwards. I almost damn near guarantee it.
Okay. So that's like among the more strange stories in wrestling today. The 24-hour marriage of Zaurbek Sidakov. Hopefully it all works out. Okay. Seamless transition from Sidakov's wedding to Pat Brucki to Michigan.
What? Wait, hold on. Jordan Burroughs should actually give him the advice because he
No.
seems like a happily married man.
Jordan should not get involved. Jordan should not get involved at all.
Chamizo, he's not married. He doesn't know.
I think he's married.
I thought they were divorced.
Okay, maybe he's not married.
Chamizo's married?
Maybe.
He was for a time, but
Chamizo
I thought
married?
Yeah, I thought they were divorced.
He definitely was.
I never seen her picture on Instagram, although I don't follow Frank on Instagram, so maybe that's why.
You follow like 14 people, Ben. You're very choosy. No, Pat Brucki to Michigan. That's big news. I'm still
huge.
curious. You think it's huge? I don't know, because if they wrestle their guys this year like they say they're going to, then I don't think it's huge, because I don't think.
You're right.
It doesn't. He's not going to put them over the hump in 2022 if Amin, Massa, and Mičić are gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So they're not going to be gone. That's all there's to that. I mean, is it simple?
I mean, hearing from it's easy for us to say. It's a lot harder to make Miles Amin and Stefan Mičić sign up for year 7 of college, right? And putting their life basically on hold.
I mean, I would say, listen, dude, we got Rona till January, and then you got to wrestle, in the Olympics. Let's just take this one off. It's simple. Let's go wrestle a few international tournaments. Let's do that. And then, listen, there's this NCAA championship in Detroit. We can have a huge party. Let's stick around for a year. I don't think it's that hard of a sale.
I don't either, because it's like these guys are staying in wrestling. They're not gonna go run off to some job in corporate America.
You don't know that.
And I don't think that they are gonna leave Ann Arbor to go train somewhere else.
For all we know, these guys have law degrees coming out of this. They've been in school since 2013.
Yeah, they could have that, but as we learned from Chris Campbell, the law career will always be there.
True.
But I don't think it's that hard of a sell either. They have the Olympics in 2021, then you don't wrestle them all of the next season. You pick and choose your battles, and you just let them train and stay healthy. And I don't think it's that big of a grind, really.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we theorized it. I mean, we were basically months ago, we're like, oh, this is happening. Detroit 2022. They're going to sit another year and do it. And then Spey interviewed Amin, and it was basically like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to wrestle. But who knows?
That was also when we thought everything would just be cleared up.
And very normal this year.
Right. Yeah. We did. They had Josh Trell on the Bader show last week, and he was very much like, we're monitoring the situation. All the options are on the table. But, I mean, they literally have 7 or 8 guys that could take a red shirt.
Really?
Whether it's just regular or Olympic. Yeah. Look at the guys that all took Olympic red shirts last year, plus Kanan Storr, who came back and wrestled, but he still has that option. Mason Paris has that option.
Oh, yeah.
As a junior world champion. I need to look. But he said 7.
So that's who else? Kurt McHenry can.
Yep.
Because he's a cadet world champ.
That's 6.
That's 6 right there. Who'd be the other one? I wonder if Cam
have their
can somehow.
whole Olympic team.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys. I don't know who else. But, Will Luan. He's a cadet.
Yeah, cadet world medalist.
Oh, my gosh.
He's a champ, I think.
He won Cadet Worlds, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, holy cow, what if they did that? Then Detroit will be Detroit Rock City for Michigan. They are not losing. Cornell might be in the mix, but I don't think Penn State will quite be fully recharged and reloaded. If Iowa's going to lose Spencer, DeSanto, Ironman, Young, Kimmer, Marinelli,
Unless they don't wrestle those guys.
unless they can somehow sit all those guys.
Well, the fall sports this year just doesn't count for their eligibility.
Yeah.
They can just compete and it doesn't count?
Yeah, they get another year. We just went over that.
But even if they wrestle at NCAAs, it won't count as a year?
Yes, no matter what happens, fall sports, they get another year.
I didn't.
Yes,
Wait,
it does not matter if they can do the whole season. They have a blank this year. It's like this year is made up.
Made up year.
But Kyle, there is no season in the fall.
For football there is.
No, only for like a couple teams, right?
It's over 50 teams that are going to play this fall.
Really?
Yeah.
There's that many?
Yeah. There's like
I thought it was only two or three conferences.
No, you have the Big 12, the SEC, the ACC, the Sun Belt, Conference USA.
You always forget the Sun
Wow.
Belt, then.
There's another one. I believe it's like 6 playing, 6 not. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of national championships coming out of the Sun Belt.
No, there's not, but
Not a lot. But plenty of sunshine. Which goes along
yeah,
with
the seniors can play and then come back, and then the same with freshmen. They can play and they're still like true freshmen the next year.
Wow.
Why would that not be the case for the winter athletes too?
Dude, that would be amazing. And this is how
you get the year back.
That's how
you get 5-time national champions.
or at least you could give Spencer the opportunity for 4.
Yeah.
Well, Mackay would have a chance for 5 because he actually redshirted last year.
Oh, wow.
Anyone else? Am I forgetting someone?
It would make
Yanni.
sense that
Yanni
Virginia
should have
Tech. It would make sense if Virginia Tech had the first 5-time NCAA champion. That's really the next step they need. Man, I can't wait to watch Mackay wrestle again. That'd be great. Yeah. Okay, so any other thoughts on Brucki to Michigan? Obviously, he's an Illinois guy. Coach Bourmet has deep ties back to the overtime days when he ran the club there. Don't they have someone from? They have somebody from Brucki's high school.
Bunch of Illinois people.
Yeah.
From his specific high school. I mean, they have a bunch of Illinois people. I don't know about from his specific high school. Or did he go to Montini at the end? I can't recall. Everyone always seems like they go to Montini by the end.
Yeah, you got to. You have to transfer. It's like the next step. No, he did not.
He went to Carl Sandburg, and they only have
Sandburg,
one person on there from Carl Sandburg, Pat Nolan, at 141.
Yeah.
So now my question is, Ben, if they bring everyone back next year, is Amin going to 84 in this scenario? Because I don't know if you've seen Pat Brucki's arms, but those things aren't getting down to 84 in my opinion.
I think Amin goes 84 in that situation.
Wow. Mm-hmm. But and I guess that would make at least that would be post-Olympics, right? So theoretically, you're not sacrificing your mass for that.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense, I suppose.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where to next, Benjamin? We have bad news.
I
from
was
Iowa.
looking through the Michigan roster. There's actually less Illinois people than I thought. There's only like 3 or 4. I thought there was more. I was incorrect on that. Iowa not good. This happened right after our show on Thursday, I believe. They Iowa waited to drop this till we were done talking.
Yeah.
4 sports. It's not wrestling, so that's a good thing. But there's other athletes losing their opportunity to compete at the college level. That's a really bad thing. And if you think it's someone, you feel like Iowa had a really healthy athletic department. At least that's the way I felt. You got to think that there's probably some more of these things coming down the pipe, and we can only hope that it is not wrestling.
Yeah, and so they are just straight up dropping 4 men's programs, and then you've got.
No, I think it's 3 and 1.
Oh, 1 women's program.
I think it's.
Yeah, I think the one women's is the swimming program.
Oh,
both swimmings.
So they like closed the pool. No more swimming. No more diving.
Yes.
Fill it in.
Fill it in.
Mm-hmm.
Skate park.
I think it's tennis and I can't remember what else.
Men's gymnastics, is that one?
Men's gymnastics, yeah. There's
Men's gymnastics, men's and women's swimming and diving, and men's tennis.
Yikes. So, highly unfortunate. And Nebraska announced they are
a bunch of furloughs and pay cuts.
Furloughs and pay cuts. So I'm wondering if that's going to be like kind of what we see from these bigger programs. They're either just straight up dropping programs or they're doing.
Most programs at this point have already done pay cuts. I know at West Virginia they did furloughs for a while. I think those people are back to work now. But hopefully it doesn't affect too many more schools. I mean, I was projecting $100 million loss with no football season.
Man,
so
that's just tough.
Jeez,
tough to overcome.
But on the other end of it's not like those sports cost that much money to run. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what dropping those really does.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Doesn't do $100 million of savings.
No, that's a negative.
No. Yeah.
All right. Well, fun stuff. Okay, next up. Super 32 happen?
About that more?
No. What else is there to say?
Yeah, it's sad.
So we still don't know about Super 32. Ben is very curious because he wants to send all his juniors.
Yeah, you know what one of my kids said last night? I was talking about. I said, well, I don't want the flights are relatively expensive. I said, I don't want you guys to buy flights and buy hotels, and then it gets canceled, and you have $700 out the window. I don't want to encourage you guys to do that. I don't think that's a great idea. He said, well, Ben, we could just go on a vacation. I said, I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't want to go on a vacation to Greensboro, North Carolina with a bunch of high school kids for no reason. Like, if we're going to Super 32, let's do it. But I'm not trying to go hang out in Greensboro, North Carolina with, a bunch of 17-year-old boys. That ain't cool.
That's not vacay for Ben Askren. Well, you could book the flights, Ben, because basically any flights can be booked now. They'll let you cancel them or change them for
only Southwest, right?
No, come on.
Those other airlines, they're not changing for free. Come on, bro.
I'm pretty sure Delta. I just booked. I'm going home September 8th through 14th, and
really.
Yeah, I booked 2 flights, and they're both free change whatever through this time. As they're trying to encourage anyone to book flights, and people are freaked out with everything going on right now, so they're letting people change it and stuff for free. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Okay.
I don't know. Look into it, man. Come on.
Okay, I'll look into it. I mean, I'm just I have. So they just sent college students home in North Carolina at a few of the different colleges, and the bars and restaurants and gyms still aren't open. So I'm like, dude, we're 2 months out. Are they really going to let a national tournament with 2,000 people come from all over America happen if they won't let a freaking bar or gym open? And to me, that says ain't going to happen. I don't know why Super 32 right now today should move to somewhere like Iowa Iowa's open. They're getting down. They should move to Iowa. Maybe come to Wisconsin. We're open. Go to the Wisconsin Dells, Super 32. Let's come somewhere to the Midwest here, and then maybe make this your permanent home after you come and enjoy it.
Oh man,
North Carolina ain't gonna let you do it.
Wow. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I believe they're looking at all options. Here's what I'm imagining is happening. They're waiting till September. But I bet in the background, I have no inside information at all. I'm just saying these are smart people. They probably have a plan B sort of figured out so that
after September 11.
Yeah. They're going to, if they say, nope, can't do it, they're going to be like, all right, cool, we have this ready to go. Right? These are not dumb people. I would imagine that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. It'll put some people in a tougher spot in terms of having to make quick changes, but hey, if you want to wrestle Super 32, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, and what I find interesting is that South Carolina is open. North Carolina is not. But the Grapple Fall Classic, which unfortunately is another tournament that I really like a lot, they're in Michigan, and Michigan's not open, so they moved to Myrtle Beach, and Myrtle Beach is also really far away from Wisconsin. So that's annoying.
You are right about that, sir. Myrtle Beach is awesome, though.
But that's why. So I told my guys, I said, listen, I can't go to that one because I think it's the same weekend as who's number one. So I said, I can't go to that one. But if you want this whole vacation plan that you guys have, if it gets canceled, like Myrtle Beach would be very much superior to Greensboro, North Carolina.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Be nice. Go to the beach.
Oh, yeah. Myrtle's cool. Have you ever been, Frankie?
Not to vacation.
Oh, just business trips?
Yeah, business only. No, we always went to Hilton Head.
Oh, okay.
South Carolina.
What's that? Is that another place there?
It's South Carolina, yeah. It's an island.
Got
Sweet. It's dope.
Yeah, Hilton Head's nice. Okay, hey, Ben.
What's IHPO? Is that something? Is it how many guys you send to IHPO? I don't even know what that means.
International House Pancakes of
Office. No, it's a term in Indiana.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought it was a pancake place.
Yeah, we are not sending any wrestlers there because we're doing some duels the next weekend, which we're hosting, and we're bringing a bunch of really good teams in here to our facilities. So maybe we'll tell you more about that at another point in time.
Oh, maybe Cracker Barrel. I don't know. It's pretty good.
Maybe we'll. I'm sure some of our guys will go, but we have something going on the next weekend, so we won't be going to that.
Got it. Okay. Yes. Hey, Ben, you're having your surgery. You talk about it a lot. When is that?
Literally 1 week. I'm like, I don't want to say I'm nervous about it, but it feels really strange to say next Tuesday, like this time, like when you guys are doing the show, I'll probably be getting my ass wheeled in and getting ready to get cut open. I've never been cut open before, so yeah, I am a little bit nervous about it. But who knows? Then maybe I'll come on the other side of it and I'll feel better than I have in a decade. So who knows?
I hope that's what happens. So yeah, we got to figure out our plan for next week. We're going to be Askrenless next week. I don't know how many weeks.
I mean, I'm hoping I'm thinking I can be back to coaching practice in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not a wimp, Piles.
Oh, you going to be crutching around?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn straight. Crutch around yelling at kids. It's fine. But in this show, it's something that requires a lot of physical activity. I sit down here in my basement and we get to talk about wrestling. So I don't know. I got to assume in a week I'll be back, I think.
Okay. Well, that'd be nice. So it's going to be interesting because you'll be gone that week, next week.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm going to be gone the week after that. So it's going to be a little zany. We're going to have to get some fill-in peeps. I have some ideas, though. Don't worry. It'll be good if it happens. Okay. Do you want to go to questions, Ben?
Yeah, I think we hit everything. Oh no, I mean, I would, and I don't know. Did you see the next thing after Super 32? Do you not want to talk about that?
Oh, no, you can bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm going to USA Wrestling's website, themat.com, and they have 3 events on their calendar right now. They have the October 8th through 10th event. They have the club duels, which are in Wisconsin, and they have the preseason nationals, which are then end of October. But they do not have the U20 and U23 event that we thought was going to happen. So that makes me kind of weary of that event happening also, which I was really hoping that event would happen. But the fact that it is not on their calendar, that makes me a little bit nervous.
I think it's I don't know, but something with the venue, maybe that's not locked in, or something about it being in Ohio. I think it's supposed to be in Ohio, but I don't know. I think that's probably why. But yeah, hopefully we know soon. I don't know.
Ohio just opened up to contact sports like last week.
That's good. Wrestling is a contact sport. I did some research this weekend. Okay. Questions from friends. CJ Kemp, he's a frequent asker of questions. With the NAIA, you get to put your best 10 guys in regardless of weight, meaning you can double up at certain weights. If NCAA did this format, who would benefit more? Iowa, Penn State, Ohio State, or Oklahoma State? So yeah, with
I
this,
would say, it's a tough one. Iowa always has a lot of really good lightweights, but Penn State always seems to have 1 or 2 like really not good weights, and then a couple really good guys sitting on the bench. So
yeah, like
Penn State.
They had Nick Neville's on the bench the year Kassar won.
Yep.
They've had Kassar on the bench like multiple years. Shakur Rashid was on the bench multiple years. Who's the best? So Gilman is the best guy I can think of that straight up did not start a year for Iowa. his
They
freshman
had a
year.
couple there, didn't they, that were really good?
Sammy Brooks, Alex Meyer
yeah.
both sat a year to 2. I think Alex Meyer was on the bench 2 years.
Yeah.
Who else?
I mean, Tristan Moran was behind Dean. They had like 3 guys that were behind there in the Oklahoma State lightweights.
Boo has been on the bench.
Boo was on the bench.
Behind Dean. Tristan Moran was on the bench. Who else?
There's someone
Chandler
else
Rogers
was on the bench.
Chandler got benched.
Yeah.
2-time All-American.
Crutchmer was on the bench his freshman year at least.
I think his first 2.
First 2 years. So yeah, quite a few dudes. So yeah, they've sat. I mean, those are all All-Americans, right? Boo's an All-American. Chandler's an All-American. Crutchmer's an All-American. So maybe Oklahoma State, right? Because it feels like they're the one we're always trying to like solve the puzzle of their lineup, and you have to move guys into less optimum weights. If you could just have like, if Dayton and Cade could wrestle at 133, I mean that would be freaking epic, right?
Nice.
And not pull one of those guys down to 25 or whatever they would have to end up doing. So yeah, I think, man, it would be kind of fun if you had to do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I like it more the way it currently is. Where
for sure.
The 10 weight class is way better than. It would just get too confusing, and maybe it's just because I like order too much and symmetry, and you might end up with, a whole bunch of teams who wrestle say 2 guys at 133 or something, as opposed to, and then some other weight class is really weak because of that.
Yes. Okay. Best father-son duo of all time. Any former greats that currently have any kids on the upcoming big boards? Well, Van Ness's dad was an All-American at Rutgers. I think it has to be Jim Jordan and Isaac Jordan, right? Jim was an NCAA champion.
Yep.
Isaac was a finalist. That's pretty tough to beat as far as father-son duos. Jim Jordan beat John Smith, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That's a tough father-son
Well,
duo
how
to beat.
about John Smith and Joe Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a good one.
That's a very good one.
Be interesting to see what David Carr does.
Well,
Yeah, that's a good one.
What were those guys way back in the day? The Pearys, or is it right? Was it Peery? Weren't they both the father son, both NCAA champions? I mean, we're talking a long, long time ago.
Dang, I don't know this.
Jason Bryant, tell me if I'm right. I think I'm right on this one.
What about the?
And then what the Coles?
Yeah, Jason Bryant just said the Pearys.
Yeah.
Someone said the Coles.
Yeah.
What about Mark Perry Sr.? And then
how good was Mark Perry Sr.? And he's a good coach. Really good, right? I don't. He went to Nebraska. What did he do? Mark Perry Sr. Because his kids both were 2-time champions.
Oh, Torella
yeah,
family.
for sure, Torella. Dang. And he had 2 really, really good. Man, Josh Torella and Ryan Torella were so close to being NCAA champions. It's insane. Like Ryan versus Hendricks is like insanely controversial, maybe the most controversial NCAA final ever. And then Josh Torella, I was doing some research because we're for a film we're starting to work on, and I was watching
the Metcalf film. Are you finally starting to work on that?
We just got started. Yeah, no, a different one. And Josh Torella was so close to beating Gregor Gillespie in the NCAA finals that year. So both those guys were just right there. Very good match.
Vugar and Vito.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wow, international.
And we have Brett and Andy Matter, both NCAA champions. That's we got a lot of good people, good comments in the chats.
Yes,
right now.
The Hensons, we'll see. Obviously, Sammy the Bull was very good. His kids are still young, but obviously show a lot of promise. Okay.
Wasn't there an older Henson, like Stanley Henson?
I don't know. You're the historian, National Wrestling Hall of Fame, Ben Askren Museum.
Stan Henson. I think he founded Adidas, maybe. Adidas wrestling version. Let's see. He's a 3-time NCAA champion. He died at ambulance chaser Mark Palmer says he died at age 101 in 2018.
Oh, he was the Oklahoma State guy, right?
I met this guy. Yeah, I met this guy. When he was 99 years old at the Oklahoma State Penn State duel.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, he was at Oklahoma State, Iowa that year too. I remember him. Yeah.
I think his kid might have been really good too. I'm trying to look through it. Maybe not.
Mark Perry Sr. was 2-time All-American, by the way.
That's a pretty good. So there's a few. There are a few. Okay. Next question. Sorry. Over under 10%. Yeah, it was a good one. Over under 10% chance Worlds happen in December. I will say under. I do not think it's going to happen.
10%. That's pretty bad.
I'm saying under.
I will say it does not feel as though it's going to happen right now, but 10% is really low. So I'll take the over just because 10% is so low.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. The number of nations that have to be on board, I don't think they're going to have enough.
So the Peary family, Jason says, Rex Peary, 3-time champ at Oklahoma State. His sons, Rex and Ed, were both 3-time champs at Pitt.
Whoa. That's pretty good. So
9 NCAA titles right there.
9 chips between the Pearys.
They win.
Winners win. Star Wars or Harry Potter?
They win. Well, hold on. I mean, they win the father-son thing, Christian, right?
Yeah, I suppose. There's a little, the eras are tough to compare. But, right? Are they not, Ben? You've been as dismissive of any one of the previous eras.
I haven't been dismissive. I would never say that. I didn't call him JV.
Nor did I. Star Wars or Harry Potter? Which is better? This is from Omega Mattis.
Harry Potter.
I don't watch either of those junk. Give me a break.
Harry Potter's good, Ben.
I never watch it. I'm never gonna watch it.
I loved the Star Wars movies when I was a kid, and then my wife had never seen them, and I was like, "Oh, what? You've never seen these? We gotta watch them." And then I watched them, and I was like, "These are terrible." What? I just liked them when I was 10. I was like, "I'm really sorry." So we watched like A New Hope, which is the first one. And I was like, "I'm sorry. I really loved this when I was 8."
I've watched a few of them. I just can't seem to get into them. Probably the nerdiest thing about me is I really, really like Harry Potter. I read all the books, love the movies. It's good stuff.
I think I did read all the books, and I loved all the books. And the movies came out, and I was like in college-ish when the first one came out, and they're kids' movies, and I just really didn't like them, and they didn't really like live up to the book. So I was like,
kids' movies?
Yeah, they're kids' movies. They're for children.
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter's for children.
Maybe like
for children.
Maybe like the first or second one because like Harry and them are young in it.
Yes.
But the ones after that are very much like from like 3 up are not whatsoever.
Okay.
They're killing people. Like, no, that's just not true.
As long as they don't swear, that's cool in the Piles house.
That's fine.
There is no swearing.
Yeah, but there is the precedent of people think you can run around and cast spells on each other.
That's just not okay.
Yeah, it's just not okay because it's a slippery slope. No, we were allowed to watch and read Harry Potter in the Piles household. We're fine with sorcery of all kinds. No issue there. But yeah, I haven't seen. I've seen like one of them, and I was like, okay. Do you like any fantasy, Ben? Do you like I don't know, Battlestar Galactica? I've never seen that. I don't even
know what that is.
Yeah.
I only like the wrestle and the MMA. And maybe Bitcoin.
Yeah, so a Bitcoin documentary you probably watched before.
I was. The Bitcoin Billionaires is a great book. It's coming out in movie format.
Oh wow! Finally.
Yeah, I got to interview that guy. Hey, don't be here. I got to interview that guy on the Funky Crypto Show. It was awesome. So Ben Mesrick, the author of Bitcoin Billionaires, he's a writer on the only show I watch, Billions. Okay, and then he also wrote the books that became The Social Network. And so what was that book called? The book was called something different. And then he also wrote the book that became 21. I think the book was called Bringing Down the House.
Bringing Down the House.
It was awesome.
Oh, this guy, yeah. I've listened to this guy before. But I can't remember his name. What's his name?
His name's Ben Mesrick. He's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah, that's interesting. I had a thing, but I forgot it. It'll come back to me, maybe. Where does Mark Hall rank among the best to only win one being one NCAA title? Asks
Well, it's
Matt.
not really fair. That's not really fair.
Yeah, because he could have won 2. But
Yeah,
let's say
because he didn't have NCAAs.
for the sake of the argument, let's pretend he made the finals and lost to Michael Kemmer.
Then, well, if he loses to Michael Kemmer, then I think that takes him down a peg, doesn't it? I mean, if he's only lost as a Heat, if that's his only loss, then he's going to go really, really high up on the board. But if he also loses to Michael Kemmer in the NCAA finals, I think that takes him down a few notches.
So, who are some other really good? I mean, NATO and Miles, someone put in the chat, were one-timers that were really, really good. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I always feel like with these questions, like it's so hard to answer them in the moment because you forget all the guys who have only won one NCAA title. It's just like there should be a website that has like all one-time NCAA champions ranked by best other finishes or something to that effect.
Yeah. Nico is up there. He was
Really?
2-2-3-1.
Yeah,
That's
he's up there, huh?
pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah.
That's a really low.
From a numerical standpoint, he could only be 1 point higher, right? With
Yes.
2-2-2-1.
Yes, numerically speaking. Okay. Someone wants to do sibling duos. I don't know. Here's one. This will be a fun one. This one's DM'd me. I don't know why they didn't just tweet it, but whatever. What are your thoughts? This is for Ben. What are your thoughts on goal setting? Have you seen more success from kids with unrealistic goals or kids that have realistic goals each season? Any other thoughts on goal setting process for kids are appreciated.
Wow. Okay, that could be like the rest. That could be like the rest of the show.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got to be realistic. Obviously, on both ends of the spectrum.
They do.
Not too easy, not too hard. And that doesn't mean like, hey, 10 years out, right? You never know what's gonna happen in 5 years or 10 years. But so I guess those long-term ones, I'm not even thinking of them in terms of realisticness because anything can happen over. I mean, if someone in the year 2000 saw me and said I was on the 2008 Olympic team, they would have said, yeah, but there's 47 kids in America at his weight that are better than him, right? That's just not going to happen. Maybe more than 47.
I'm sorry. Let me before we go.
Yeah.
I have a thought that's like super pertinent to that. I was thinking about this between shows from Thursday to, and how helpful it would probably be, and maybe parents would just probably remain crazy. But if you could see video of all the greats in our sport and watch them as wrestlers as 8, 9, 10-year-olds and see what they look like, I bet it would be the most underwhelming thing. They would look so raw, and maybe some of them wouldn't be, right? There'd be some, but I bet so many of them, not just you, but even like, what did John Smith look like as a 7, 8, 9-year-old, right? I bet it would probably be so helpful just to see that. That like, look, this is where the kids can be, and here's where they can get, right? I think that would be just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and I think obviously it'd be more helpful to see the ones, like me who weren't all that good and then got better. There are obviously some that were really good in the beginning and also really good at the end, but not nearly all of them. Yeah, I mean, I think that could be it's just the perspective. I mean, you're talking about having perspective, right? It's really important, and I think that there's an easier one, Christian, that parents can do. It's like go to any youth tournament around America, and go by the kindergarten through second grade mats, and then go to the 7th and 8th grade mats and just see and feel the difference. They are like different worlds. Yeah. I mean, it really is, and that's just because by the time kids have gotten to 7th and 8th grade, a lot of parents have realized that they need to chill out, they need to sit down. Their kids, at that point, if the parents are super obnoxious, the kids are probably rebelling a little bit against that obnoxiousness. So it's just totally different worlds. And I think parents, if they have enough perspective, they can see that right there at those tournaments. Yeah. And then if they also pay attention, they can see like, oh, hey, this kid sucked 2 years ago. I mean, was terrible, couldn't win a match, and now they're really good. So obviously that can happen also. So I think Go ahead.
you were talking about goal setting, and I interrupted you, unfortunately.
No. I mean, yeah. So, so I think maybe the far off ones, I don't really think too much about those because they're right. They're kind of far away, but more in the shorter term, like, hey, what are we going to do next year? I want a kid to be totally realistic with himself. If they're way off on either side, too easy or too hard, it's not a good goal. Right? It needs to be something that's within reach, but is still kind of a stretch. And then within that, probably even more short-term goals. I always didn't. Maybe I didn't keep them really noted, but I definitely had goals on an every single day basis. What I want to accomplish when I go into practice, and then a lot of times in matches, what do I want to accomplish in that match? And I think that's really, really important because it keeps you really focused on what you're doing, the actual process of it. And so I think those really, really short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals, and then super long-term goals. I think having all those things are really, really important.
So what about so if a 10-year-old says my goal is to be an Olympic champion, what do you say to him?
That's great. Let's do it.
Okay, that's good.
Well, I mean, why? Right at 10 years old, yes, the sky is the limit. There's an infinite amount of potential at that age. And even in high school, guys, you guys could think, who's it? The one guy I always post, Adam Wheeler. He sucked. I think he was like 1-15 his freshman year of high school, and he won an Olympic medal.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, how much worse he could have went 0-16, I guess. He could have been a little bit worse, but it can't be much worse than that. And their stories, I mean, Mark Schultz, right? What year did he start wrestling? Like sophomore year of high school?
Yeah, later.
Something he wasn't very good in the beginning, right? I mean, so there are all these stories. So yeah, if they're saying something like that at 10, whatever. Great. I'm glad you have big goals and big aspirations. We have plenty of time to accomplish that. But more in the interim, the shorter term, I think that's probably where it's more important to be really, really realistic.
Yes, I agree. So, all right, give me an example. All right, you've got a 9-year-old starting wrestling.
I'm not really talking goal setting with 9-year-olds. You're
not.
I like I said, no. I think that late middle school, high school is probably where I think it becomes really, really important, and where they can start speaking for them. They can and do start speaking for themselves. I think that's probably a really good age range.
Right.
We talked last time about how youth thought is heavily influenced. You're really young. You're 5, 6, 7, 8 is really influenced by what the parents are saying and doing, even if it's not directly, hey kid, you need to say this, but they're paying attention to what their parents are saying and they're kind of feeding off of that.
Okay. Probably last question. Trilogy you're looking forward to more if wrestled in Olympic finals. Burroughs versus Sidakov or Snyder versus Sadulayev?
Ooh, that's a good one.
First of all, Jordan Burroughs isn't allowed to wrestle them in the finals, basically. It can only happen in the semis, except for like 2017. He always has the Russians earlier. So it's forbidden, strictly. Yeah. But dare to dream.
I would say Jordan Burroughs because he has not gotten Sidakov yet. And so I want him to get him once. Snyder already has one win over Sadulayev, and he'll always have that. If Burroughs goes 0-3 against Sidakov, that would be really unfortunate. So I'm going to say I'm more looking forward to Burroughs Sidakov.
I am as well. I really want to see the Snyder Sadulayev thing is so interesting because the two matches are like, the one is just like it's a great wrestling match. Snyder breaks him at the end, gets the takedown. It's kind of a back and forth. And then the other one is just like the least satisfying match ever. One move, seriously. Not just because he lost, but it's like, all right, well, what would have happened if they wrestled 6? He'd have been down like 2-0 if he'd have just been able to fight off his back from that weird thing. Who knows what happens then, right? And then, and certainly since then, Kyle has not been able to make it back to him, right? So you could hypothesize that Sadulayev is widening
only 1 year.
Right, but, he went from beating him to getting pinned by the first period to not even making it to him, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was 1 year. Kyle's always Kyle's never been perfect, right? He's always taken some losses. Obviously, it hadn't been losses at the World Championships, but he had taken losses.
Yes. So from a curiosity, I feel like I know what the Burroughs-Sidakov match is going to look like. I just want to know what the next installment of Snyder-Sadulayev looks like. But, okay, for my anxiety level, I don't want a Burroughs-Sidakov Olympic final because my heart just might explode. I can't. The anticipation of that, having to wait. So it's one thing when they hit in the quarters or the semis or round one. It's like, okay. Mm-hmm. But if I'm like thinking about this match for literally an entire day or two, I don't even want to think about the anxiety levels. I don't think I'll be as nervous. I'll feel like, Snyder. If Snyder were to lose the Sadulayev again, I was like, whatever. This guy's gonna wrestle till like 2038. What's it matter? He's gonna have other opportunities and whatnot. But I know that the Burroughs thing is coming to an end, and this is maybe his last Olympics or close to it. So I think that sort of the finality approaching, and then just my general affinity towards JB would make it extremely difficult. But the victory would be so much sweeter if he were able to do it at the Olympics. And just the way he lost in the previous ones. Incredible. Okay. Well, let's get the heck out of here.
I got a few good one-time champs
get it
before we go. Kenny Monday.
Oh, my gosh.
Dave Schultz.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, you forget these guys are so much better than the ones we named. No offense to the ones we named, but these guys are all-time greats.
Dwayne Goldman was runner-up 3 times before he finally won.
Yes.
Bruce Baumgartner.
Hey, do you know where
Bruce Baumgartner.
Do you know where Bruce Baumgartner went to college, Ben?
Indiana State, right?
Yes. I didn't know that.
Larry Bird, right?
Larry Bird.
They're
roommates.
Kendall Cross.
Oh, my.
Ever heard of him?
I'm familiar with his work.
Yeah, I think that those are the really good ones.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Those guys are beasts. How many of those guys won the Olympics? Kenny, Kendall, any other Kens?
Schultz was a world champ.
Schultz,
world champ.
Bruce.
Well, no, Schultz won the '84 Olympics.
Yeah, he won the Olympics.
Oh yeah,
'84. It counts. Okay. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening. Happy Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow. I promise.
Oh yeah.
We'll all be here. It's gonna be fine. We will have things to talk about. I don't know what, but something happens every time. Maybe it'll be something shark related. Maybe we'll get updates in marital issues. Maybe something real will happen in wrestling. I don't know. But this show's going to happen regardless. We literally have to do it. For Ben Askren and Stephen Kyle Brucki, I'm Christian Piles. Thanks so much. Please have a good Tuesday. Don't drink Monster. Like, bad example.
Oh my God, crushing it. Bro.
You enabled me.
Yeah,
this is your fault.
I did. I restocked the Monster fridge for Brucki. But Brucki is hilarious on Monster. So
I was pretty chinged up yesterday.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
I heard Brett Favre say it one time.
So that's a good reason to say it.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow. Happy Tuesday.
Peace.